So this is what happens when you get drunk with a friend and he starts talking about cars. And I said, sure, I'll do it with you. I'll buy a car with you. If he can get it lined up, we can push him up.
Adam Carolla he's a racer as well as a comedian. He's got the podcast, a bunch of stuff like that. But he's become a huge Paul Newman fan, primarily Paul Newman's racing career rather than the movie career, although I'm sure he's a big fan of that as well. And he's bought up a lot of Paul Newman's old race cars, which I think will turn out to be a smart investment. For example, Paul Newman's Rolex watch just sold for $17.5 million.
And I have a commission bid at $1 million that someone left with me earlier. I have a starting bid from Tiffany Toe at $10 million. Thank you, Tiffany. Selling officially at $15,500,000. Thank you for your patience, Natalie. It is history now. $15,500,000.
So if your watch is worth $17.5 million, I'm not sure what your old race cars are worth.
So we bought a car, and then I hijacked it. I'm sorry I hijacked it from Oregon. And that was a bitch of a drive in that old 77 Ford F-350 for me, all the way from Oregon to Texas.
Yeah, the transport.
God, that was a long drive from Seattle. Man, I signed up for that. I'm never doing that again. There's nothing worth driving from Seattle to Texas in the summertime. In a 77 Ford, whatever this is. But this runs pretty good. This old truck's okay, man.
It's got a cool story, that car.
Yeah, and I want more of the story. I've read the article, but I don't know much of the story. You've done enough in this space. I mean, you are the encyclopedia on this topic of Paul Newman racing. I mean, he's got the fire suits, he's got the helmets, he's got almost all the cars, and this was the missing link of the family of cars he's put together, of the unique ones. But tell me what it is we've got.
Well, it's a 308 Ferrari. I known about the car for a while. Newman has different stratas of cars. There's Newman team cars. There's the cars he drove for Nissan with Bob Sharp at a certain time.
The ones that the public would know that say, most of them say Planters across the hood, right?
Yeah, they had Planters was a few of them, but they had Canon. Some would be Pepsi, and also pretty famously Budweiser. He had Budweiser as sponsors, you know.
Carolla's been waiting on this thing a long time. I found out about it in January. First time to see it. I don't think he's ever seen it either. In person. Oh, wow. Paul Newman's 308. This is the first Ferrari 308 GTS ever imported into the United States. Actually, it's a funny story because the dealer, the factory that brought it over, they did it on a permit. They started racing it, and the permit expired, and they had it at a Ferrari function. Ferrari had all their dealers together, and the Port Authority or whomever, the government came and seized it in front of all of them because it expired its tourist visa.
57 cars started the 24 hours of Daytona. The attention of many, though, was focused on the 21st L. Newman. We know him as Paul Newman.
A team which included actor Paul Newman was fifth in a Ferrari, about 190 miles off the pace.
This car's always been around, always found it interesting. Paul would, if you said, oh, we're going to build a race car and we're going to campaign it a little bit, do you want to drive it? He'd just go, yeah. He probably did Daytona 20 times because somebody said, hey, you want to drive in my Ferrari at Daytona? Or you want to drive in my whatever at Daytona? And he'd go, yeah. And that feels like what it happened with this car. Everyone wanted him to drive, so then he'd be driving it in Daytona.
Lucky. Yeah, real lucky.
It was like a garbage song.
Oh, cool. It's got a winch.
Got a winch and everything. You got no problem.
All right.
Take it off?
Yep, and then we'll winch it out.
All right, let me get up here to the steering wheel. Let's go all the way out.
Looks like a race car.
Okay, come on.
Yeah. I don't know how to start it. I don't know if it's got a... He said it started. I take it it's got a reverse. You want to do it? I just can't get in the sumbitch very easy.
Yeah, I will.
But see that ignition box over there?
So there
It's
should
unplugged.
be a power. Oh, it's unplugged. Should be.
They said they started it. 2 questions. The seat in it is tiny. Was Paul a small guy?
Yeah, Paul was very fit and very thin, and most race car seats are very that way. You can really feel them on your hips.
And what is the large red handle on the hood? Is that a battery disconnect or something?
Yeah, there'll be an electric cutoff, not for the driver or the team or any of those, but for an emergency worker if the car got off the track or had issues or problems or smoking or something. The driver would be theoretically belted in the car, and then the track worker would show up and shut the power in the car so there wouldn't be a fire hazard or something like that.
To the pit area, but Paul Newman has had his problems today. It's been a real difficult Saturday for one P.L. Newman.
What is that? Is that a coil, or what's that thing that's unplugged?
That is probably.
You don't think it's for spark? I hear that pump running, so you got fuel now. Let's see what happens. Oh, here she goes. All right.
This is going to have a racing clutch in it, and you can't just.
You can pull it in or back and expect spin it on the dollars.
All right, let's see what we'll do.
So it's all or nothing, huh? If he can get it lined up, we can push him up. You're in. You're in. You're good. You're good. You're good. You're good. You're good. Let's push. Push. Whoa. You're good. Nice. He got it. He got it.
It's a legitimate Newman race car. Some are a little dubious, sort of like, oh, he drove it one time
in practice
for a celebrity race in practice or something. Yeah, there's that kind of thing. But this is a Paul Newman car. He raced, I think, 8 races, did a season in it, and a cool piece.
So the transport in those photos I sent you, I don't know if you noticed that it looked like it was a different paint scheme in the beginning before they got it painted to go with the Team Budweiser. It said Old Blue on the side of it. Did you notice?
Oh, I gotta go through those and be a little more diligent about it, and I will. But yeah, I saw pictures of it with the Budweiser, and it had James Brolin's name on it,
right,
and Gene Hackman's name on it. like team manager
and Clint Eastwood.
And Clint Eastwood. And I don't know how much of that was sort of tongue in cheek, or how actually involved those guys were. I like a transport.
Oh, God. It kind of closed me on the deal. I was like, and with those names on the side of it that were actually on the side of it during that time frame, I mean, it makes this one pretty special, in my opinion. The transport, I'd say on a scale of 1 to 10, is a 9. Nothing is a 10, really. It's nice. I mean, it's good. I was kidding earlier when I said that I drove it from San Francisco. We actually put the car in the transport and flatbedded it to Texas. It's nicer than I imagined it would be. It does not have air conditioning, and it does eat fuel like a monster, 460 gas. But do we have a plan yet for the next move? You and I just kind of did this on a handshake, and the handshake's good. I just didn't know what if you had any plans.
There's the possibility of us driving it in an event. They have a lot of events. It's not just Monterey. Go out there and have some fun with it at an event like that, and then maybe reunite it at the Reno Automotive Museum.
For those of y'all that don't know, Adam's got his entire collection at the Reno Automotive Museum, and that's where we were the other day. And I did enjoy that. Thanks for letting me open for you and Putty. That was fun. I'd never done that before. It's pretty exhilarating. I know you're used to it, but it is way different than radio.
You did a great job, and you sort of emceed it.
Some of you guys may know me from the radio. I've been doing syndicated radio Saturday mornings, a car show, John Clay Wolfe show, where I talk to people, make them angry about the values of their cars.
But it was a fun night. It was a good crowd.
Very much.
It was kind of,
I reverted to cursing too much, as I explained on the airplane.
Fuck you, Pam. Hey, between the two of them, Mercs, you think you're a shit star? Yeah, fuck you, Pam. It says like 10% buyer's premium. That's 10,000. Yeah, fuck you, Pam.
You get sort of caught up in the moment.
You start cursing?
Spike. You do. You start cursing on stage. You also realize, look, you know, you're not a professional comedian, so you want to get people to react, you know, and the curse.
So we'll yeah, that sounds cool. I'll look up the dates for Austin, and we're going to definitely use that transport.
You know, there's two kinds of car guys. There are guys like you, whores that'll just sell anything at any time for any price. And then there are legitimate car guys who have dignity and decency, and they're like, I like this car. I plan on driving this car. I'm not ready to let this car go. That's the vibe. That's the plan as it is for now.
So if you happen to be a museum owner and would like the Adam Carolla Paul Newman Collection and will pay for the transport to your facility,
yeah,
let's talk.
There you go. Let's talk.
Let's talk. Have good air conditioning. And this is where we handle our classic and collectible cars at Give Me the VIN. We buy a lot of them. We're getting more into it. We're instant cash on specialty cars. We do a lot of it. So please go to GiveMeTheVIN.com. So that old Corvette, your grandfather or uncle passed away, that supercar, that old Lamborghini, Mopars, Cudas, we love Cudas, and we want to buy yours because we love buying cars.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVIN.com. So easy you can